welcome to Space Chicken, the podcast for people.
That would have been a good intro. That would have
Gigantic.
been a good one, a solid one. Try it
Yeah,
again.
you
try
should
it
have
again.
kept going. You should have kept going.
One more time.
Go ahead, Scott. You do the intro this time.
I don't want to do this.
What? No? You seem so horny to do it, bro.
Yeah, that was good. It caught me off guard.
I thought we were just rolling. I thought you were just gonna go.
I thought-
You know what's funny is though,
I guess
as
that was the intro right
I'm always
there. Let's go.
anticipating when you're gonna look for that awkward moment and just be like, someone's like, anyway, something about poop, and you're like, and welcome to Space Chicken, where feces and games come together, or some shit like that. I don't know.
So what are we talking about today?
And welcome to Space Chicken, where Amazon has built a sky fortress for their delivery drones, and I am stoked. As always, I am No Right Answers himself, Danny. Up in the top square of the V formation is a man who I believe was drained by a vampire this morning, Scott. And
How you
then to my right is a guy who's wearing what Pac-Man would wear for Halloween on his face, Wilson. Say hi, Wilson.
Hello.
All right. So today, kicking off the first podcast of 2017, which means, of course, we have to do what everyone else is talking about. Talk about what we think is going to happen in 2017, aside from terrorist attacks and a crashing economy. So we're going to talk about technology that makes our peeners move. CES just happened. Is happening.
Right. Yeah.
Is happening. By the time Yeah, so right now it was the first, as of this recording, it was the first two not open to the public days of CES, where they just let journalists go so they can create tweet hype and get the blogosphere going over the next new technology that's supposed to come out this year. Of course, CES is a consumer electronics show, which is the show about technology that used to be about cell phones, but it's not about cell phones because all the big cell phone makers now have their own conferences. So all the other technology that gets announced has slowly built into CES. For a while, that particular trade show was garbage. There's about a 4-year span where it was like, here's a concept car and a toaster, and I really didn't give a crap. But these last 2 years, they've really picked up their game. So we're going to talk about technology for 2017, stuff that excites us. Amazon does not have a Sky Fortress, by the way. I'm sure most of you guys could figure that. What they actually did was they filed a patent for the Sky Fortress of delivery drones, that I believe is like the thing from Winter Soldier that could snipe everyone in the head, except instead of sniping people, it delivers your crap from Amazon. And that honestly kind of got me hyped. I don't know how you guys feel about that, Will. Sky Fortress from Amazon 2017. Are you ready for that? Just in time for
not
Christmas?
At all. I feel like the beta test for that is gonna be like packages falling on people's head. You know, you're just kind of walking, and then bam, just package. Here's your game. Here's your 360, Xbox One, PS8.
I'm not going to lie. I would be so stoked if I clicked buy on a DVD on Amazon and then it hit me in the head like 5 minutes later. like when they develop Portal technology, that's how I want the beta test for Portal technology to go. You click buy, smack. And you're like, oh, shit, a Blu-ray.
It's got to be crazy, right? Because they just started reporting Google self-driving cars were like crashing into people and whatnot. So just imagine the skies with a bunch of drones by Amazon, and you have the one glitch, and then boom.
Of all the big companies that we have, Google, who I really thought was gonna
love Google.
That's
Google.
a new one. He's good. Second one.
Like of all the companies, I really thought Google was going to be like the Skynet of the future type thing, right? You have Microsoft, Google, Apple, you have all these big companies, and Amazon comes along and is like, no, we're going to have stores where you don't even talk or pay anything. You just walk in and take what you want, and we'll charge you. And we'll have space stations up in the sky that will deliver packages from our drones to your front door, and like, I just didn't see it coming. Like I just didn't see Amazon coming and being like, yeah, by the way, we're gonna be everywhere.
You kind of look at it and you're like, oh man, Google's small fry now.
There are people who are not gonna ever know that Amazon started selling books.
I know.
Like literally, like Amazon forced Barnes and Noble to change their entire business plan. And then it was like, oh yeah, also we sell books. We don't even care about killing Barnes and Noble anymore. Like they held Barnes and Noble's head underwater for a little while, and they were like, oh shit, do you need like shoelaces? Because we also sell shoelaces.
So I don't know if you guys have been following, which is the funniest thing. So you have Barnes and Nobles getting mail from like 5-year-olds talking about, no, please don't close my store. It's all I've got in my neighborhood. And then Amazon goes around and goes, you know what? We're going to open a bookstore in the middle of Manhattan, and we're going to get people to come to us. And I'm like, what? Barnes and Nobles is closing, and Amazon is just like, we have enough money.
Here's the thing, like, okay, this is weird, the direction that this took immediately, right? As far as like this was supposed to talk about the future, and it just turned out to jumping onto Amazon's dick. But like I have coupons like for Barnes and Noble, right? Because I like buy books and stuff. I know, I'm a nerd, right? So they sent me coupons, right, over Christmas, and there's like 20% off one item, 20% off one item. So I had two 20% off one item coupons, and you go to use them online, but you can only use one coupon online at a time per purchase. So I couldn't put two things in my cart and then apply two coupons. I had to do one and do the transaction separately. And I'm like, this is why you're dying. You can't even internet right. Like, you don't even need to invent it. Like, you don't even need to innovate what to do in that department. You just literally go, what's this successful company doing? Let's do that exact same thing here. Like, it's just so whatever. Okay, so Amazon is going to rule the world. They're going to hit us in the head with DVDs, if DVDs are even still a thing. Because that's the other thing too, right? It's like, what are they going to deliver? Like their big stuff, like the refrigerators, are the drones all going to just be sentient? Right? Because if they're automated by GPS is only good within 5 meters, which is good enough if you're driving because you can see. So are they going to have like the Air Force and have a bunch of the drone pilots just dropping Hellfire missiles of fucking
so they had that
Kindle Fire missiles? Holy shit, guys, Kindle Fire missiles. Are you ready? I'm not ready. I'm not ready for Kindle Fire missiles.
They are for this episode.
Wow.
I remember seeing them doing their first delivery. Like the FAA was making those regulations where like the person flying and has to see it because they didn't want all this kind of crap to be happening, and you have to be a certified pilot to fly them if you're going to do a commercial and blah blah blah. And but I remember them doing their first test delivery. I mean, the packages are like super small, you know, like a toothbrush. You know, they're not dropping like Xboxes and, you know, stuff like that right now. It was like 5 pounds or less. It's less than 5 pounds or something.
Oh, they're dropping like clothes.
Yeah, something cheap.
It won't hurt as much, whatever it falls on.
I don't know.
I'm trying to figure out how many. I was literally reading an article the other day that said how many. 23,818 drone licenses have been issued in 2016. You could totally just go get, I mean, you got to do some paperwork, get some flight time, but the FFA, like you were saying, they certify you, and you mentioned it, and I remembered. I'm like, I fucking know there's an absurd number of drone pilot licenses that have been given out.
Well, you know
not that hard. A regular license isn't that hard to get. You just need money and flight time, so the same thing applies to drones.
Well, I think there's regulations to what you can fly with or what the size of it you can fly, or I don't know what it was. I'm not one of those people that reads about that stuff too much, but I do know that the one industry it really hurt when they started putting all these regulations in was real estate, because people were using drones for real estate to take pictures of houses and where they are and locations and stuff, and then they're like, by the way, you can't do that. You got to like have all this kind of, you know, all this red tape came in and stuff, so. It's interesting.
Right. But it's a fair amount of red tape. You have flying robots in the sky. Granted, they're manned robots, but you can see they issued over 23,000 licenses, which means people are getting up. They're like, red tape? Let's just do the red tape. I mean, if you go to like a major corporation, like they talk about like all this like federal compliance and stuff and yada, yada, yada. Most companies just dedicate a team to deal with federal compliance, and then they just kind of comply, and then it's done. Paperwork's done. Doesn't matter. It can apply to construction industry too. You need a licensed welder, for example, to like do welding on any site. The person who's like a licensed welder does zero welding. They get paid to be the dude who has the license. and then everyone else welds. The people who are actually welding, they're not licensed. Those guys get paid to weld. Licensed welder gets paid to exist, and it's going to be the same thing. Like, you add that red tape, everyone finds ways around it. Moving on to CES and the future. Now that we've determined that Amazon is going to weld all of our assholes shut, a lot of stuff I saw in CES kind of like weirded me out. Can I say weirded me out here when we talk about the future? And I'll give you one. And the reason this stuff weirds me out is because there was a report the other day saying that with the advent of smart locks and smart homes, that you're not necessarily more protected because now your house can be hacked. Like, it can't just be broken into; it can also now be hacked.
Watchdogs kind of way.
Right. So they're doing other stuff. So now you got and this is just my paranoia, my psychosis. They had a baby monitor.
Oh God.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck was that, Scott? Oh God, what? A baby monitor? Not yeah. They had the baby monitor camera, too. We'll get into that in a second. But I mean, like, in the womb baby monitor. So
whoa.
Yeah. So apparently you could put it on your stomach, and well, not your stomach, but the pregnant person can put it on her stomach, and she can monitor like her contractions with this essentially a spider. It's a spider you put on your belly, and that seemed like pretty cool. And it through Wi-Fi or Bluetooth or through wireless powers that goes to your smartphone, so you can like monitor your thing through your phone, which again seems cool in theory until I hate you and I want your baby, so I hack into your baby monitor and I just start.
This went dark.
Yeah, it got like really in my head. That's where it went. It went there really fast. I was like, whoa, what if someone wants to make you think you're having contractions and make you go to the hospital, like just as a gag, right?
Do you have any
JK.
IoT? Do you have any
both like
IoT devices in your house right now?
I don't think so.
Like a Nest thermostat or?
No, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. My mom has the Amazon Echo.
Okay.
And she bought smart outlets that connect to the Wi-Fi and therefore connect to the Echo, so she can tell and she can assign the outlet a thing. So she has one called lamp and one called fan. And she can walk in and say, what's her name? Alexa, turn on the fan. And then she'll give power to that outlet to turn the fan on. Of course, the fan has to, by default, always be on the on position, and the power's going from the outlet. But other than that, no, I don't have any of that stuff.
See, I'm concerned about it. Like, I was gonna get the thermostat, and I like all the light bulbs that come out now that are Wi-Fi connected, because I thought that was kind of cool that you could, if you run a this then that program on your phone too, so like you can like, if the at this time in the morning they turn on, or if the temperature outside drops below 40, turn the thermostat up to this. They have all these kind of like cool programs, integrate everything, but the minute I start getting excited about it, I start going, it's so easy for people to hack. It's so easy. I was just watching on, I forget what YouTube channel it was on, where the guy basically hooked up a simple $20 adapter onto his laptop and hooked it up to a public Wi-Fi, and he could literally just see all the traffic that was going over the Wi-Fi that was not like through a VPN or anything like that. And that included pictures. So if somebody was sending a picture or looking at pictures or whatever website those people went to, he saw what websites they were going to. And I keep thinking, man, I don't want to be at the mercy of somebody.
You mean that. Like Facebook?
What do you mean? Yes, kind of, yes, like Facebook in the sense that.
And Google, because if you think about it, you search up porn without going private, all of a sudden you're on Google or Facebook, and all you're getting is a bunch of ads for porn.
Right. So the target advertising, yeah, but I mean, my thought was if they can do all that just with a $20 adapter in a public space, I'm worried about like how can they make like all of a sudden why not just making my lights all start flickering on and off, or if I have a baby camera.
That's a huge problem, because I think
like Danny was saying
these first generation devices that are like that, I don't think they have any encryption. And if you're just talking about encrypted to your email address, I could just send you some spam and get that password, and all of a sudden I'm controlling all of your lights.
Yeah.
So dangerous times.
it is. It's scary.
Yeah. This whole
Scary and exciting.
connected
It's like all the electric
So,
cars. Isn't that
yeah,
scary?
how do you feel about that?
Did you see? Oh my God! Did you see the? I forget what car it was. It was
I
something like
know
$130,000 car.
the Faraday Future car.
Oh God! It was so embarrassing. It was so cringy watching that. Oh,
It was pretty funny. It automatically like parked itself and all that stuff. And they proved that they're like faster than Tesla, and they really like took a couple shots at Tesla because that's the only really electric car out there.
But for
it didn't move.
the electric cars and the smart car, not the little smart car, but for the self driving cars and stuff, there's fear of those hacks too. They've actually hacked into non smart cars because computer chips run a lot of the internals of cars now. And they were able to hack into cars and like shut them off. I mean, you figure with all these low jack style technologies where they can GPS your car
OnStar
and
and
shut it
stuff.
down. Like, yeah, an OnStar, you can shut a car down remotely from somewhere, which means that the ability to access the vehicle remotely exists. And therefore, if it can be hacked, your car can be shut down against your will. And
Very true.
that is pretty scary. Like, that's scary stuff. Like you said, like Watch Dogs, which is a just north of fun video game where you get to hack stuff and change lights and all that other like traffic lights and put up protective barriers because everything is in some way integrated into a wireless setting for convenience. It gets pretty spooky. So LG just announced the HUD. LG HUD.
Oh,
Right?
that's the one that's in front of the car, right?
No.
No?
This is your home. So this is the competitor for the Amazon Echo and the Google Home,
Oh.
right? So it's the LG Hub. It looks like the thing that Wally wanted to bang in the movie Wally. You know what I'm saying? The chick robot.
Yeah.
So you assumed it was a female robot.
Okay, fair. No.
Yeah,
Did
he's got a point there.
Okay, the robot that Wally wanted to bang, because now you're assuming that Wally's straight. Boom! I turned it around on you, you son of a bitch. So anyway, it looks like that. It's got like two little dot eyes on it, and then it does everything that like Alexa does, and the Google Home does, except for that LG has an entire line of smart appliances that can integrate with it, so it can like run your
Do stuff.
dishwasher, it can run your fridge, it can turn, no lie, on and off your oven if you have like an LG smart oven, because you know ovens should be on Wi-Fi
That's
and things like that. I mean, I can imagine one day, you know, run your garbage disposal. Why not? You know, hey, Wally chick is what I would call mine. Because you know, whatever, you could give it a nickname. Because my whole thing with the Amazon Echo is why do I have to call it Alexa? You know, that's not cool.
Can't you choose a different name? I thought you could.
I don't know, but you can make it call you stuff. I'd make mine call me Honcho. Hey, Honcho.
That's what we call you.
Yeah. So again, that stuff, like when we talk about the future, it's pretty, like to me, pretty spooky shit. I was once self-promotion for something he's never going to do, was writing a book about like super computerized home. And then I stopped because I stopped writing everything. And I know it's not an original thought. I didn't invent that one. What's that movie with that robot that tries to kill everyone who lives there? 2001: A Space Odyssey? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I think it was 2001: A Space Odyssey. With the robot that wanted to kill them. Yeah, almost. I'm almost positive. And just so you guys know, we run a YouTube channel dedicated to movies now, too. And you can tell that we're qualified to it because I asked a question about a movie. No one had an answer, and I answered it with zero confidence. So, you know, come check out that series, Popcorn Chicken.
Popcorn chicken.
Popcorn chicken.
Rah. So,
From the guys who brought you space chicken comes popcorn chicken.
But there was a lot going on, and you had the phones at CES. Obviously, you had the TVs. And speaking about the TVs, I like that LG seems to be the only one that cares about the superior technology that is OLED. Well, everyone's like QHD, LED, and like all of this stuff. And it's like, make it cheaper. Make OLED cheaper.
Yeah, but you're saying that OLED is a superior technology because they can make them thinner, right? So using OLED, you can make your TV thinner, which is why LG right now is they're putting on like the paper thin TVs at CES, which is like pretty cool. Like for me, that stuff, it gets the peener moving. I'm like a super like awesome TV. Also, there was a thing for a foldable phone, which I really want to talk about that a little bit. But I'm gonna fuck it up. The QLED
Yeah.
QLED.
has a more color spectrum, doesn't it? Like you have to give up a little bit of the thinness to get richer, more vibrant colors, and then at some point the question becomes, what do you want? Like, are you like, do I need a paper thin TV? Because isn't a paper thin TV just a projection? Right? Is a paper thin TV just a projection? Because if that's the case,
I want to say
But if
that
QLED
OLED is still better.
don't want to say it. Say it. And say it with
Hold on,
confidence.
hold on.
Argue with me. Tell me I'm wrong. Don't go for Google. Say it incorrectly for the record and let the internet decide who's stupid. That is what that is what the show is about.
I want to go with OLED.
Poorly researched, and yet we're yammering. We should all get jobs at Fox News. All right, so we're gonna agree to disagree because you halfway Googled something. What you should have done. Okay, all right, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of research mentorship. Right, when you're researching something live, don't cut the other person off. Let them talk and buy yourself enough time to get the answer. Like, don't stop me from talking. So now the podcast moves into like a area of awkward silence while you're like, is it? Isn't it?
So funny thing, I did the same search on Bing, right, that I did on Google, but Bing would have gave me the answer correctly, and the superior technology is QLED, as it is the next generation display technology after OLED, meaning quantum dot light emitting diodes. So it's OLED to the next stage.
So there you go.
Wrong for me.
Stones.
There we go.
I'm gonna go with super
We're right.
correct over here. The man, the dream. It's newer. They haven't figured out how to make it thinner yet. Oh, my balls feel so big right now. Anyway,
the foldable phone. I wanna hear that.
Wait.
Go ahead, Scott.
No, go ahead. We'll go there.
Yeah, because I didn't want to spend time on TVs because TVs just brighter display,
it's a TV.
richer colors, flatter screen, and then after that you're pretty much done. And I still think it's cool. It's a cool technology, and I would want it in my house. I have a 65-inch Sony, and it's really nice. Sony actually showed some really nice TVs too. But LG had the thinnest TV, so that's the biggest gimmick you could do right now. And also, smart TVs, of course, are becoming affordable. So even the cheap TVs are going to be smart TVs now. Which, again, I don't need a smart TV anyway. You get an Xbox. Anyway. Oh, man, I forgot who. I think it was LG again. Man, Samsung? Do I like LG?
I think it was LG.
They
even though, before you get there,
folded like across your wrist.
From what I read, they're abandoning, right? Your G5 model, right? Is that the thing? They're not going modular anymore.
That was Motorola. Motorola was modular.
No, LG G5 was modular too. It had all those little attachments.
The Motorola, the LG G5 had like 4 attachments. That is not a modular phone. Like, they weren't selling it as a modular phone. It had one camera attachment, and then it had a separate 360 camera. I would not call this phone modular. That's not a thing I would ever do. I would look at all these attachments. The Motorola, they went full modular. Like, everything you want on it, you can get attachments for.
Yeah, I know that one. You could have like a super duper like camera attachment.
You're not allowed to talk anymore. You said super duper. Scott, it's your turn.
Hey, so the foldable phones, as I'm looking up right now, they're saying from Samsung.
What?
What was it, Samsung? Yeah.
It says Samsung could possibly have 2 foldable phones in 2017, but I don't think it's going to happen. But that's what they're saying. Could launch 2 foldable phones in 2017. I don't know. I
I could have sworn that was LG.
I literally put in foldable phones 2017, and I'm seeing all Samsung. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I believe you. I couldn't remember. Again, there was a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff
You
going
guys seem
around.
really depressed now that it wasn't LG.
No, no, I'm not. I was
No,
hoping that you would
LG's
carry a little harder than that, and I was gonna pull up the.
he's looking hard.
No, no,
I
I was looking for the next thing because there was one like really cool technology and then another weird technology that made me feel like at some point
so
humans are cheating at life.
I don't want to go back to cars, but I think we missed a little bit. There were more cars this time. There was Toyota came out with an electric car. I think
Chrysler,
Nissan,
Chrysler came out with
Chrysler.
one. Yep.
Yeah, so multiple electric cars. This is happening now. Um,
Yeah,
and
but they were
it
concept cars. I'd like to
that's
say
true.
that. I
That's
mean,
true.
they
Yeah,
weren't like they're like we're not releasing this year.
and
They're concept
and
cars. Concept cars are a lot of fun. Like I see a lot of like I used to go to the car show in the
car
city
show. Hmm.
every year just to see the concept cars because real cars don't interest me. Like real cars are very utilitarian. Like it's a thing you use to drive to someplace and whatever. But the concept cars always fucking bug me out. It'd be like, look, this one's made completely out of a thing that you can put fingerprints on and it won't take. I'm like, awesome. This one has for they did one year where they had the Warthog. They did like the real life Warthog and they had it so that the tires turned in like the way a construction vehicle would. Like they have the construction vehicles like an Atlas forklift where you can crab walk the legs and you can do like a 360 in place, kind of like the way you could do with like a skid steer loader or a Bobcat. I don't know how familiar. Just Google Bobcat
That's
doing a
pretty cool.
360. They can turn in place. They had Jeeps where the wheels would turn inwards like this, and you can do a full 360 in place. Like that's like to me like that kind of stuff is cool. That's the kind of stuff like I'm interested in seeing in a car in the future. A real car, like a normal car that you could use, doesn't impress me that much. But the stuff that they put in the concept cars, like I couldn't tell but the Chrysler seemed to have suicide doors that swung all the way, but from the middle out, both in the front and the back, or that they were coming out like the front one went
Some
forward and then the back one went back, which is pretty cool and it was super roomy inside. And then the other one had like lights on the outside. The I think it was the Nissan or the Toyota, like
so
stuff
the
like that. I find really
Yeah,
intriguing.
yeah. That those cars from like iRobot and stuff like that are like becoming real. So that's pretty cool. And I guess if everyone gets one eventually, right? And we don't get hacked, okay, Scott, just relax.
I thought I was almost scared.
Less accidents,
That's cool.
right? They're driving themselves, less accidents, no humans involved, right? A little bit smarter,
I don't know. That one's
less
tough.
traffic in the morning. I would hope.
Less traffic that's a bold prediction. Are the smart cars gonna kill half of the people who go to work in the morning?
Just gonna make everybody late.
Yeah, I mean,
Because they won't be able to
yeah.
speed.
If everyone's obeying, yeah, if everyone's obeying the speed limit,
Everybody's obeyed the speed limit.
yeah, no one's gonna wake up earlier. Everyone's just gonna get to fucking work late. Yeah,
Oh
I don't
man.
like the idea of the self driving car. As far as it pertains to the future, like of us, is far more complicated than I think people say because it'll eventually become an issue of individual rights, right? Because people are gonna say, "Hey, I want to drive my car," but you know how it gets when it comes to safety. They're gonna go, "No, no, no. We're either all in." There's gonna be places that are all in, all this. So it's gonna be the same way with helmet laws on motorcycles. Some states have to wear a helmet. Other states don't care if you die or not, right? So it's going to be like that. Some states are going to be like, nope, if you're in the state limits, the car has to drive itself. Or you're going to get other states where they're like, nope, no self-driving cars, robots are the devil. And then you get other states that are like, we don't care if you drive or the robot drives. We don't give a shit. Just stay off the roads. You know what I'm saying? Just don't drink and drive. So it's going to be it's going to be really interesting. And then the other thing about it is, because this just popped in my head right now, because I was about to say the self-driving cars will reduce DUIs, right? Because no one's going to be drunk driving anymore, right? But we're going to be drunk navigating, aren't we? Like, I get like, let's say Scott gets totally hammered, right? And he's twisted, and he's gonna go on the bar. He's gonna be good. I'm good. I'm good. Alexa, open the door. And then he's like, he's all fucked up, and then he just kind of tells the car to take him to his ex-girlfriend's house. Now he successfully made it. While the other way he would have ended up upside down in a ditch somewhere. No harm, no foul. Insurance will take care of him. But the other way, he's drunk out, falling asleep, standing up. I love you. I love you. This is fucking calm, you bitch. I kind of feel like. If the bartender could have taken
he might get arrested right then and there.
You could imagine messing with somebody. Imagine getting somebody in a drunk in a car and being like, all right, man, I'll tell the car where to take you home, right? And be like, drive him to California. And then close the door and just let him go. Whoa. And then they're going to wake up in like Michigan or something, run out of gas. And you're like, what happened?
That went really dark, Scott.
Dude,
wow.
I would do nothing.
You're talking about kidnapping at this point.
No, how are we kidnapping? We're not even in the car. We're not even in the car. And if they're blackout drunk, maybe they were like, take me to LAX, stop. But I would have fights with my car because I'll tell you, so I had to go to Brooklyn this morning, right? So I popped the address I needed to go to. Now, the place I needed to go was right after BQE. I'm going to get like super local for New York City. So was right after BQE, but my GPS was like, no, take the Whitestone Expressway to the Jackie Robinson Parkway. And I was like, okay, Google, I believe you because it's early in the morning and I'm sure there's traffic. So I did exactly what it said. I got done where I needed to go, and I used to drive a van in the city. So like I know the roads and I know the time that all the traffic hits, and it doesn't change because no one's died. So it's all the same shit. So when I got back in, it was telling me to go back to Jackie Robinson Parkway. I'm like, that's the long way around. And I looked, and it's like, yeah, it's 4 minutes faster. I'm like, it's 4 minutes faster than the road right here? Because I'll eat that fucking 4 minutes and go on this closer road and drive in a straight line home instead of going up the Jackie Robinson Parkway, hitting up back to the Whitestone Expressway, and then coming to the Bronx. Like, I was like, that's fucking bananas. That's the craziest thing I've ever. And if it's cars driven by the current GPS system, which by the way, a lot of people know this, America owns GPS. That those are the government satellites, and the government charges rental fees to use their GPS satellites to the world. And that's actually why Europe and China are actually putting up their own GPS style satellites that'll be more accurate than GPS because, it came after. But anyway, if it's dependent on that GPS information and it goes 2 minutes faster, go this way. And the way it's taking you is asinine and through really, really scary neighborhoods that you're not in, like a part of. So you're like, it's even a more super scary neighborhood because it's not my scary neighborhood. It's somebody else's scary neighborhood. You'd be like, fuck you, car. Give me the controls. And then you're drunk driving to California.
Just to jump on that tangent, that 4 minutes turns into 20 minutes because it's sending you local.
Yeah.
And not via highway.
Yeah, and you hit like.
So I don't know how it's any faster. It's just like what?
I'm like it's. I swear to God, it's nearly the opposite direction of where I needed to go.
Yep.
It did this number and met back in the middle. I was.
So I wanted to bring this back to gaming. NVIDIA, and I tweeted this earlier, right? NVIDIA is coming out with the new NVIDIA Shield, which is cool. All it has that's new, from what I can tell, is 4K. That's all right. We're used to that with Apple products, right? Just release the same crap with maybe a different port or whatever. No headphone jack.
Okay, just real quick before you continue, has 4K taken off?
No.
Like
I want to say no.
I feel like we're gonna hit 8K before 4K takes off.
Yeah, I feel like 4K has gotten zero traction. When I produce like videos on YouTube, there's a 4K option. I'm like, who can watch 4K videos? I don't understand. Like, why are we pushing that standard?
And you need a screen that displays all of those
4K,
pixels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
well,
weird.
All right. Sorry. NVIDIA pushes out this, nonsense as 4K TV, right? And then what hit me hard was that they want to charge for their game streaming service $25 for 20 hours of gameplay. My response, exactly.
Why would anyone?
And that's the thing. People will pay into this, and they're gonna go, "Oh, this is a great idea." And then somebody like Sony will be like, "Oh man, they got away with it. We got this."
So no one who streams like who streams for real, is going to do that. Because $25 at 20 hours for your average streamer might be 4 days. Like people who stream hard, if they do a 5 to 8 hour stream session.
This is not streaming the game. I'm sorry. This is streaming the game from a supercomputer.
Oh, gotcha.
But instead of going, hey, give us $25 for the month and play this log, they just said, you can play any game. You only have 20 hours for $25.
With that, let's double back up for a second. Who the fuck has an NVIDIA Shield? who bought enough of those so that they made a second generation of it?
No idea. I don't have one.
I have like a million gadgets in my house. I don't have an NVIDIA Shield. I saw it and I was like, I have a Game Boy I don't play. Why the fuck would I buy an NVIDIA Shield to not play that? This is a weird world we live in. And then
it's
Steam
insane.
lets you stream from a supercomputer to a shitty computer already.
Well, that's in your house.
Yeah.
Right. The NVIDIA one, it's like we're gonna host it in the cloud, and then send it to you. So if you don't have the funds, do you
still need a Wi-Fi connection to do it?
Yes.
Fuck them.
Some form of internet. But the thing is, it's insane. $25 for 20 hours. You can't even beat a game in that long. You probably beat Dishonored without doing any of the extra missions. But it's like 20 hours. That's an insane price.
No, listen. If you can hear my voice, and you're thinking about getting this thing, don't get it. Don't this is the time where, as consumers, we need to talk with our monies. Where we need to go, NVIDIA Shield that charges me to do the thing you promised me. Outside of it, fuck you, NVIDIA Shield. Fuck you hard.
Indeed.
And the only reason I even have an NVIDIA graphics card in mine is because the numbering system is easy for me to understand. I know the 970 is better than the 960. That's simple.
Touche.
So
which is funny. Hearing you in a previous podcast, you're like, oh, I remember like looking at the graphs and like trying to figure out like the different connections, and you're like, woo. I couldn't sit there and look at an Excel sheet to try and figure out which graphics card I should buy.
Yeah, it gets annoying because it's like, hey, what's the best card right now is an NVIDIA 1080. So it's like, all right, well, where does an Intel integrated HD 4600 fucking fall into this scale?
Yeah. You go to like Tom's Hardware and look at the little charts, charts to figure out, well, it performs good here and it's good here.
But like,
dips over here. But just go buy the 1080.
Yeah, oh man, like I'm blanking on the other graphics card maker.
I think it's just
Radeon.
So,
an
AMD. Like I would literally, if I was those company, like if I made a 1080 equivalent, I would just call it a 1080. I would just. I don't want to confuse the consumer base. Like, oh, we have our own unique numbering system. Like, why? Like when Exxon sells me gas, Shell sells me gas, Citgo sells me gas. The grades mean something universally. 87 is 87 everywhere you go. Like, it's not like it's 87. Like, they call it different stuff, though. You know what? I think
ethanol.
Yeah. You know what, though? I might be fucking up there because I feel like the numbering system is, like, regulated as like a gasoline industry thing, and I think they call it like super, ultra, mega, super duper. That might have been a bad example. I apologize if that analogy didn't apply. If it does apply, I'm a fucking genius. If it doesn't apply, apologies.
There you go. Or just make it all virtual reality. Which, by the way, did you see any virtual reality stuff?
The Vive.
So the Vive. So man, I'm drawing a blank because I was totally ready to talk about it.
Lenovo came out with some weird headset too, right?
I don't remember.
Hold on. I think
you
it's
look
Lenovo.
it up, and I'll talk about what I was going to talk about concerning the HTC Vive. That's a makeup brush. I don't even know why it's here. People have zero respect for my workspace. There's literally a makeup brush in front of my fucking computer. Like, I don't, whatever. Anyway, so there's a company. There's actually two companies, and I wish I could remember their names. They were making a wires adapter for the HTC Vive, right? Because now you remember the two big boys on high end virtual reality headsets are the Oculus Rift and the HTC Vive. And I'm just going to the buying options again. HTC Vive is about $800. Comes with the room centers, the controllers, and the headset. Oculus Rift is $600. Comes with the Oculus Rift, the sensor that's not a full range sensor, but can tell where you're looking, and an Xbox controller. And then you have to buy the motion controller separate. And when you do it, it ends up costing as much as the Vive. And I do want to talk about like where I am in my heart with VR right now. But because the AC Vive is a full motion thing, and a lot of their games involve you moving in anywhere from a 4x4 to a 10x10 space in order to like move in the virtual reality world, which again, I've tried both of them, and the HTC Vive was the superior experience as far as immersion goes for the games that they were demoing. Right, but I've turned the corner on that. And again, we'll get back to it. But you're moving with cords sticking out the back of your head. You know what I'm saying? Because you're literally hooked into the Matrix with these cords behind your head. And what they've done is and they've demoed prototypes of it, have come up with a way so that you plug all the plugs into this thing that sits on your head, and then the other end of it is on a computer, and you wirelessly process all the VR imagery. What, as proven through their demos, their tech demos in a controlled environment with their computer, has zero latency. And they have this zero latency. It's just like using it with the wires. And they even brought an acrobat in to like play like a sword fighty shieldy game. And the guy was doing backflips, like to avoid like contact with like the sword monsters. And I am going to look up that company right now.
And while you do that, I'm going to report that it is a cheap Lenovo. Oh, sorry, not cheap. Lenovo's low-costing flip-up Windows VR headset. It's got two little cameras in the front to do augmented reality.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. It's not one visor. It's like two eye cups. With a visor on top. No, it was two eye cups with a thing on top, as opposed to a thing.
I think that's a different company. I saw that very quickly. This one it's pretty big. It's kind of like it looks like the PlayStation VR. Look it up, Lenovo VR headset.
Yeah, go ahead, guys, look that up. I was talking to the listening audience. TP Cast. TP Cast is the company making the wires adapter for the HTC Vive. I've seen a few tech demos on it, and I've read a few articles on it, and it seems pretty cool. It seems legit. However, every time they show it, it is in a controlled environment. However, if you are using a VR headset, you have a computer with at least 16 gigs of RAM and at least NVIDIA 970 or equivalent or higher. You know what I'm saying? Or an i5 processor or higher. So, I mean, even if it's slightly more higher than that, the way they talk about it. I'm not endorsing this product. I haven't used it myself, but I'm just saying the way they talk about it, you shouldn't have any type of latency issues of your movements versus it. It seemed pretty cool. From what I've seen, it seems legit, but it's an additional cost to further increase the immersion, right? Because one of the knocks I will give on the Vive for me using it, you walk forward, you're dragging cords behind you. So now if you're walking back, there does exist the possibility of you backing into the cords. I mean, there aren't a lot of games that make you turn full 360 around, but again, you are in a predetermined space when you calibrate the sensors, either 4x4 to 10x10, and when you hit the wall of the space, a literal like gridded wall pops up in front of you, let you know you've gone too far. So then you will have to walk backwards. And again, when you have the VR headset in, it's full immersion. You don't see the rest of the space around you. So with that, I've come full circle, and I'm Team Oculus Rift. I was Team HTC Vive, and I'm Team Oculus Rift.
Wow.
And the reason I'm Team Oculus Rift
jump ship fast
is for two reasons. One, I'm poor. Right, and I can't afford either one.
Well.
So I'm out there running there, which means I have to lean towards the Rift because the Rift is $600, and I've been saving up money for one of these. you do need the 4x4 up to 10x10 space to fully appreciate the HTC Vive. While the Oculus Rift, you can only look around. But at the same time, when it comes to the motion controllers, you're only playing games that are geared towards the motion controllers. And doing that will put you into Nintendo territory of the type of games that come out. So, like, am I going to play fake Cooking Mama? Like, did I get a VR headset to play that game? Right? Or is this right here the Xbox controller, which I consider personally the best controller in gaming, right? But even if you prefer the PlayStation controller, you can still hook a PlayStation controller to a PC and it works, right? If you consider that the most immersive, like this lets you interact with the digital world perfectly. They figured it out. This is perfect. This is a little more accurate, right? Right? Mouse and keyboard, more accurate, better, but you can't do that. Like you might be able to if you're really good. And then again, with the whole task with the flying, you got your buttons memorized, you're good. All these other ways of inputting and interacting with the world are already far superior. That turning around and possibly tripping over a cord seems stupid. Like, it seems kind of like a step too far for an extra $300.
I've heard some folks say if I want to do VR, might as well go outside and move around. Because if you're playing video games, you want to just sit at the couch. You're not trying to do all of this movement around.
Well, I'm going to tell you, like, I'm going to go ahead and call bullshit on that analogy. You know why? Because when I go outside, I can't shoot fire for my fucking fingers. That's not a power I have by virtue of going outside and frolicking in a field. When I want to shoot fire for my goddamn fingers, I would rather put on a face mask and do it digitally. That's ridiculous. And then next time someone tells you that, Will, someone tells you that, to give them that exact example. Tell them, how am I supposed to make lightning fly out of my cock? Because I can't do it now, right?
Good thing you mentioned all of those things, because you can buy yourself a Lenovo VR headset for $400. Okay, they don't have a name yet, but quite el cheapo.
Yeah, okay. but is it like Samsung VR, right? Cause
I don't know.
Like, we talk about the future stuff like this, like the Samsung
this
VR.
This is probably a better version of the PlayStation VR.
Is $100, and then it's your phone. So when we talk about processing power, again, like I want deep immersion, right? The whole point of VR for me is the next level of immersion, and putting on both the Oculus Rift and the HTC Vive, I felt more immersed. And the reason you feel more immersed is because you're blocking out the rest of the rest of the world, and your entire three-dimensional depth in front of you is taken up by a world that's not yours. So and that was the whole gimmick behind 3D. That's why they were pushing 3D hard, was because 3D was supposed to add to the immersion by creating depth in a limited field. It makes you feel like things are coming at you. 4D theaters, 7D theaters, shit like that.
Funny that you mentioned immersion, Danny.
Felt a little preachy. Sorry. Apologize.
Yeah, you did. There was some additional things at CES to include VR boots. Yes, boots for VR. You kind of step onto stuff, and it'll like make it feel rocky and sandy, and I don't know what else it had, but it's supposed to immerse you.
You can go icy, you can go muddy. Can we go spiky?
I don't know if it can do all of that, but yeah. It's still a prototype, but they showed it off at CES. VR boots to make you feel like you're walking in the terrain.
So there's this company called Virtuality. And they are right now, they have 3 or 4 locations across the country, and there's a VR arcade. So you can go in and you can throw the Vive on, you can throw the Rift on, and then just like, instead of quarters though, it's like whatever it is for like 15 minutes of gameplay, or whatever. And it's pretty cool because part of their immersion thing that they do is they have a stationary treadmill. Right? But it doesn't move. It's one of those treadmills that moves under your feet when you walk. And then they have like a bar that they put in front of you, like a padded bar. So you lean into it and then walk in place. And then you'll walk in the thing. There's actually one at the mall. We should probably make time to check it out.
Meet up at the mall and check it out.
Yeah, because
I'm down for that.
again,
That sounds
I've done
cool.
the VR stuff, and it changed my view, like, on if is virtual reality, because I was a staunch believer that this generation of virtual reality was not ready, like,
Yeah, so it
for the
didn't make
immersion
you like
factor.
throw up or anything like that.
Okay, so the ACC Vive gives you zero motion sickness, because the reason you get motion sickness when you put on virtual reality is because your brain is experiencing movement, but your body isn't moving, and that's what gives you motion sickness, right? That's part of like what causes uh, being sick in a car and being sick on is moving without moving screws your body up, and then it makes that connection. With the ACC Vive, there's zero chance of that because you are moving. So the movement that you're perceiving is the movement that you're doing. There's this great video on the internet of a guy wearing a VR headset standing up on a roller coaster VR sim, and he is messy. Like, he was stumbling like a drunk person, and the reason was his brain was telling his body he was moving, and his body was like, "We're not moving, dude. We are not moving."
We're good.
So things with like the PlayStation VR. Now again, this might just be sensationalized, but it has a higher report of motion sickness because it is a lower quality VR experience because it's on the PlayStation, as opposed to a high end PC, right? So whenever Xbox comes out with their VR experience, which by the way was supposed to be the Oculus Rift, and I don't know what happened with that partnership because they stopped talking about it. Again, it'll be scaled back because the processing power. So now you have a subpar VR experience, not a bad VR experience. I'm not going to call it a bad VR experience, but I'm saying compared to the Rift and the Vive, that fake motion that's not as good as real motion, so it's more prone to motion sickness. ACC Vive has the lowest reported motion sickness because you're moving while you're wearing it, but not all games do you move in. And again, because not all games you move in, I'm moving over to Rift because if I'm not going to be moving in the game, what the fuck do I care? And then Oculus is somewhere in the middle. So it's a personal thing. It's can your brain handle movement that your body's not doing?
All this talk about movement is really pissing Scott off.
No, I mean, you know my feelings on virtual reality, but
Oh, please share with the
what? You
audience.
want me to play outside? I've made my penis lightning argument. Beat that one.
No, I mean, well, the one thing I thought was cool was Vive's little hookup system with their headphones. The way they have that integrated now, you can hook it up, and the video is pretty cool for that. But yeah, I would say zero interest in virtual reality.
Have you tried
gaming.
it?
No.
Dude,
No.
dude. Again, I was a staunch believer, not ready, but I am a person who will try everything at least twice because you might have done it wrong the first time, butt sex. So I am telling you that when you try it, your opinion may change. I'm not telling you it is going to change, but it may change. I think we should do that. We're going to do it. We're going to do a virtual reality thing, and we're going to record it, and we're going to interview Scott after. Life's going to change
We all
forever.
have to go to Mike's house. That was the original plan. He has.
I'm almost
DVR.
positive Mike died. I'm
That's why I said it was the
50-50.
original plan. I think
He might be dead. I haven't heard from
Here's
that guy
the problem.
forever.
Wherever we go, I just don't want to pay $60 for parking. That's it. That's the only thing I don't want to do.
Happens one time.
Okay.
Basically.
I have a bunch of stuff pulled up. I don't know if we're off this topic, but I don't really like virtual reality.
We got 10 minutes. Shoot.
I've got a ton of while you guys were talking about that crap, I pulled up basically a lot of stuff that came out in CS that's been announced. So I'm gonna go down a list.
Rapid fire. I like this segment.
Fire. Okay?
Rapid fire CES. Go.
There we go.
Okay.
Wait. What are we doing? Are we giving like one-liners or what?
I'm gonna give you what it was and maybe a little tidbit about it, and you guys do whatever the hell you want. I don't know. I'll wait.
Like, it sucks.
1 sentence rebuttals. All right. You give us the item and the description, and we give you 1 second rebuttals. People producing on the fly. Shoot.
Okay. Lenovo Legion Y720 gaming laptop. Newly resurrected gaming laptop stands out as first laptop to incorporate Dolby Atmos and gets props for integrating an Xbox One wireless receiver.
Lenovo's going downhill. Don't buy it.
Acer Predator 21X gaming laptop. $9,000 laptop, but it has a ginormous 21-inch curved screen, first in a laptop, and an eye tracking camera. Of course, it's has 9 heat pipes to cool the 2 GeForce GTX 1080 GPUs, which is higher than the 1070s, and 2 power supplies, 4 speakers, 2 subwoofers, plus it weighs 19.4 pounds.
Skip it. You're more than likely gonna use it as a desktop that you take to your friend's house occasionally. For that, fucking buy a desktop.
If you have that much money, please donate to us.
Moen's U-connected shower. Are you tired of turning on the shower with your hands like a chump? Moen's new shower range lets you preheat shower water, control water temperature, and shower duration from your phone.
Okay, so do like every other man does, which is turn the shower to the appropriate temperature and then go take a shit. And while you're shitting, the temperature will get to the proper amount, nice and steamy for you if you're me.
I don't want to get hacked by Scott and then all of a sudden I'm burning.
Skynet shower. I like that. Wilson
kids.
soup.
Pebble voice assistant. It's not just cool-looking voice assistant like the Amazon Echo and countless others. The Pebbles twist, Melody, your guide, can recognize voices and change its activities based on the individual who's talking. Plus, it really is an assistant with the ability to manage your calendar.
Okay, so 2 things. 1, cool feature that is probably just a firmware update for everyone else. 2, the Pebble's still a thing?
It's not the Pebble the watch brand.
Oh.
Uh,
well then double thumbs down on them.
Carrying on. Well, no, the only thing I thought was cool about that was the fact that it would recognize different voices. I thought that was pretty cool.
But I mean that's
Echo
going
does
to
that
come out
too.
in the second generation of assistants anyway.
yeah.
Moxie stroller and phone charger for the parents out there. Who needs solar when you're strolling your child through the park? With the Moxie turning all its wheels, turning kinetic energy into usable electricity. Why did it take so long for them to come out with this? You can charge your phone, light your path, or track your distance.
Okay.
Is that electric cars for babies?
No,
Fuck no. It's so it works like a hybrid car where the tires charge the battery. Shut up. Listen. That is a great technology, but parents, put your fucking phone down. Look at your kids. Look at your
Amen.
kid.
Amen.
Look at your kid. No,
Stop
you're,
taking pictures and enjoy the time with them.
yes.
What is this? The connected toaster. It boasts a Bluetooth radio and a smartphone app. It costs $100, and it comes from Griffin Technology.
Does it make toast?
Yes, it does.
So there's a $20 toaster.
Or smart outlet? That just no pass.
Yeah, no.
Asus unveiled not one but 2 app-enabled home mesh Wi-Fi systems today at CES: the premium Hive Spot and the less expensive Hive Dot. So essentially, it's a mesh system like Google.
Google's thing.
Yeah, they're very
Pass.
big. Routers are very big at this.
Pass. Just wait. It's too expensive.
Yeah. It's gonna be like smart TVs. Eventually, it'll be affordable for everyone.
Yep.
LG's new fleet of robo helpers includes one that'll mow your lawn.
Oh
What
God!
the fuck is wrong with you?
So here's the. I can't knock. I had the idea to make a Roomba lawnmower, right? And then before I started talking about it, I Googled it, and then I realized other people were already making it. I got sad. So fuck them for stealing my idea before I had it.
I feel like we should copyright a movie in which the robot goes crazy and turns into like a chainsaw massacre kind of thing.
Or just
Oh
cuts,
man, we could call it Lawnmower Man.
Exactly.
yeah, that or just cuts the lawns really well. BlackBerry Mercury wants to make the keyboard real again in phones.
Skip. Just
I
skip.
yield
Just
my
skip.
time.
Just skip.
Pico or Pico packs just became fully customizable. They are your ability to brew your own way. Hold on a second.
Skip.
That's why I have a Starbucks.
Listen, prepackaged ingredients that work with a push button brewer.
I
So you
have a
can brew-
barista. Go on.
No, it's for beer. That's
Oh.
what I should say. It's you can brew your own beer.
Take the time and
Okay. So as someone who does brew their own beer, right? I will tell you most of those like instant beer brewing stuff, like it's just not the same. Like it's not there yet. Like brewing beer takes time and fucking monitoring. It's a chemistry experience. I just don't trust those automated ones. I just don't. Like, it doesn't taste the same. I've tried them. It doesn't taste the same.
It's like cooking your own steak.
Attention cord cutters. Mohu Airwave bundles your local TV channels into handy app form. Now, I want to say I'm kind of excited about this one. It is a wireless receiver for digital broadcasting, so like from New York City. So you can set it up anywhere, and it's wireless. You just need a power source, and then you can broadcast it to any Wi-Fi device, the local stations.
It's a mobile antenna. It's a mobile HD antenna, right? Because there's HD antennas now.
Right.
They pull that down. It's just a mobile version of that.
Just a mobile one that you plug in. You don't have to do anything else too, and it broadcasts to Wi-Fi devices. So
All right.
it's not.
So, what we haven't been doing at the end of these shows, right? Because I don't want to cut you off, but we're running out of time, and we promised we'd keep them to an hour. We haven't been plugging the social medias. I don't know if anyone cares about the social medias. I put my tweeters right here on the screen for the whole time. This hand, there it is. My tweeters, which is also, by the way, my Instagrams as well. This is my tweeters and my Instagrams. Scott, are you still not gonna put out your? And by the way, for people listening to the podcast, it's at NRAG_Danny. That's No Right Answers Gaming, NRAG_, because the underscores are coming back in a big way in usernames. Danny. And that's also it on the grams, if anyone's using that. So Scott, you're out on the social medias.
So if you want to reach me on Twitter, it's at Scotty's Journey. It's SCOTTYS.
Yo, did you know he had a Twitter?
I've had it for a long time. I just never put it out before this.
I think I fell asleep for a second and he just woke me up. I'm in shock.
Listen, I the reason I never put it out is because I don't really, the most of the stuff I put, I'm a big health guy, so a lot of stuff you see on there will be health related. But I will post game stuff and when we're broadcasting here, if you really want to come in and look.
Yeah, and we're not like don't follow us for like us to put stuff out. Our social media is to talk to you guys. So like if you guys listen to the podcast or watch the podcast or whatever it is you do, and you want to like talk to us and go, hey, you idiot, that's not what this is. Mm-hmm. And then I can finally ban someone because I'm not important enough to ban people. So I want to be like, like me banning people. Like that sounds like fun. But also like to talk to the people who do listen. I know it's not a large contingent of people listening to this, but it's the easiest way to kind of talk to us. And every time I reply to someone in the YouTube comments, they never reply. So, but I can't be a little dickish. So that might be an issue. Will?
I am on Twitter as at Wilson Ortiz. And yeah, you can send me a couple messages on how wrong I was about OLEDs and QLEDs.
Oh, please. He didn't know. I don't think what I was saying was correct either, but I was correct in saying it was better.
He picked the right answer.
Right? So like I said better. I don't know if it was because it was more colors or it's because the lights were quantum, but I did say better. Also, real quick, games we're playing. I'm playing Tyranny. Great game. Started playing Fallout 4 again. Started over. Downloaded on my PC instead of my Xbox. Actually, honestly, better gaming experience. Totally better game experience. And I'm going to talk about that another time. Scott, are you playing games or did you give up on life?
Will, what are you playing?
Yep, sounds like gave up on life. Will?
So I am playing now Final Fantasy 14 on my Vita via remote play because I beat Final Fantasy 15 and I kind of wanted to continue something.
All right.
It kind of left me feeling an empty hole.
All right. So with that last admin note, this is the last Space Chicken that's going to be posted on my YouTube channel, which is No Ranchers Gaming. We have one big conglomerate YouTube channel now called the Talking Chicken Network, which is where all the podcasts are going to go. So if you're listening to the streams via however it is that you listen to the podcast, there is another podcast from Talking Chicken Network, and that is Popcorn Chicken. That's our movie podcast. So this is our gaming technology podcast, Space Chicken. We have another one, Popcorn Chicken. We only have one episode up, which is Blade Runner. So if you enjoy this stuff, I did that one with a buddy of ours who used to do Badmouth Radio with us back in the day, talking about the new Blade Runner. Kind of, give us the first 10, 12 minutes to warm our chops back up because me and him hadn't podcasted in a while, but it goes pretty good. And then also a new YouTube series called Minute Movies, and that's over on Talking Chicken Network. Just
Minute.
Talking Chicken Network.
Minute or less.
And that's our Minute or Less, and that's where all of our
TCN.
podcasts are going to be going from now on. So from space, deep in Andromeda, this is Space
who we
Chicken.
Not to be confused with Andromeda.
Mass Effect Andromeda CES 2017 trailer.
Okay, I recorded you saying Andromeda, and that has fucking made my life, bro. That, by the way,
Andromeda.
highlight of 2017 is you saying Andromeda.